So you leave here, you interned at Hubbard, correct? Hubbard Broadcasting, and then you went to work in promotions at iHeart, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
And then that slowly developed into some fill-in on-air work, and then you end up at the Jordan and Christie show, which was a morning show. Take us from that point, from when you, Jordan and Christie, things, I think you started in North Carolina there for maybe, so just kind of take us through that process and how you went from Jordan and Christie to what you're doing now.
So what I'm doing now? Oh yeah. Well, everything started with Z1077. So I started working there actually on my birthday. The funniest story ever. Like, the program at WLCA really got me ready to be on air because I was telling people at the radio station, like, I really want to go on air. And then my opportunity came, and it wasn't like I had 2 to 3 days to get ready. It was like, no, go in the studio right now and do the show. I'm like, hold on, wait, man. Like, I have to prepare and everything. But it was honestly on the fly. So I started on my birthday, and that was June 2017. That was in 2017. Then I was doing overnights on Z for a year. Then I end up auditioning for Jordan and Christie. And like, a lot of people just think that I got the position just being at the radio station, but it was a whole process. Like, I had to audition, I had to do some extra things, but I started working Jordan and Christie show full time November 2019. So we're talking like, what, 2 years ago, right?
A year and a half, yeah.
A year and a half ago, yeah. So I was doing that show, and then from there, that's when I actually got moved to North Carolina. So I started working North Carolina after a year of being on Jordan and Christie, and that happened in October of last year of 2020. And then from there, I started doing nights on Z after the Jordan and Christie show was dismissed from iHeart. I started doing nights on Z in November of last year. So like, some of this stuff is a little current, but the grind that it took to get to where I'm at right now, I wouldn't change it for nothing. Like, it was honestly everything that I wanted. And a big shout out to Jordan and Christie, because they helped me out so much. And like, when I tell you Jordan is a radio guru, like, the man put me on game to so much. And even Christie with her personality and just being bold and upfront. And like, and they really molded me into the person that I am today.
You could tell when you were on the show that everybody seemed to mesh pretty well, and it was kind of a surprise, but that's the nature of the business, right? Not a surprise that you meshed well together, a surprise that show went away, but that's kind of the nature of this business sometimes. But that just opened up some other markets for you, so congratulations there. You were talking about the grind, and I tell students all the time, and I probably told you when you were here, we have a number of students that come to us with an incredible amount of talent, that develop into a great talent, but it's the people who are really, really motivated and driven. Those are the students that things happen for them. And man, I can tell you, there have been very few students I've had over the years that were more motivated or driven than you.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. But being in the program, it's motivation. You know, it's like, I can actually turn this into a career. But I think some people lose the aspect of really believing that it can happen to you, you know? And like, my whole mindset was, I'm in this program and I expect to get a job out of it. So I'm going to work hard. Like, I'm going to stay over. I'm going to pick up extra shifts that people don't want, because, you know, and the more you do it, it's the better that you get at it. It's almost like anything you do in life. If you do it over and over and over and over and over again, you know, I wouldn't say you will be an expert, but you will be good at your job. But that's just the grind of starting in the radio program and just taking those opportunities.
You know, you talked about some of the things that you learned from Jordan, and you even talked about being able to hop right in on your first opportunity. Tell me about your time here in the learning process. Obviously we didn't teach you everything, but did we prepare you for that initial start? Did we get you ready?
Yes. I still remember the day when I was at iHeart at Z1077, and when they told me that I was going on air. At first, I thought I had like 2 weeks to prepare, you know, get ready, get everything in order. But no, like, they told me I had the job, and literally In 2 hours, my show started. So I had to go in the station, start prepping, get ready, get my phoners, the whole 9 yards. But being at WLCA and grabbing that experience, and just like I said earlier, and by picking up those extra shifts and by doing the little things, staying overlaid, fixing this audio, it really helped me out, because when they told me to go in the station and cut my show, I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, I do it live on WLCA every Monday night. That's when I was hosting The Message, if you remember that, Mike.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And so, like, it was honestly, it was an easy transition, but it would have never been easy if I would have never started at WLCA, because being live and you air checking us in front of the whole class, bro. Yeah.
How did those go? Students over the years, they tell me that they learned a lot, and they'll tell me, man, I got so mad at you when you did this or whatever. How did you take most of those? Were those air checks? Did they sit well with you? Or were you like, no, he's wrong. He's not right.
Do you want my honest opinion, Mike?
I do. Yes.
Oh man, I used to hate those air check sessions in front of the whole class. It was nerve wracking, but honestly, I loved it at the same time, because you just get feedback, and not only from you, but from your peers too. And it just develops you more.
And that's it. Something that I could tell you, somebody else could benefit from, or you can hear something a classmate does, and oh, I want to try that because that sounds like a really good thing to do there. It's not a thing that we set up to embarrass you or to create this competition, but in a way it does, but it's really a motivator, I think, and that's why we do it. And I can see, though, where it's kind of nerve-wracking for the students, but you came out all right on the other side, I think.
Oh, man. Now, my first year, I was a mess, bro. Panicking every air check session. Mike, throw up the USB drives. Who's first?
Right. Now, when you were here, you were also our promotions director in your second year.
Yes.
And that was a no-brainer. I have students go through the process of applying. They're doing it right now, of applying for director positions. And with you as a no-brainer, it was going to be promotions. You just had that promotional spirit about you. So you did promotions for a modern rock alternative station. When you interned for Hubbard, you did promotions for a rock station, for a country station. Now you're with a hit radio station, which is kind of your zone and where you wanted to be. But that was kind of a learning experience too, right? I mean, promotions is promotions. You promote a product no matter what it is.
Right. Yeah. And that experience really molded me into the radio personality I am today, honestly, because when I first started doing the program, like, my whole mindset was, I want to be a hip hop and R&B DJ or radio personality. Like, that's my lane. But starting in art rock, it really opened me up as being a radio personality, and not a country radio personality or a hip hop radio personality. Like, I was labeled a radio personality, and that stuck with me because it felt like I could do any format. Like, if you put me in country, let me slap my knee and throw in the hat. I'm about to do country now,
Right.
But it all started at WLCA, because honestly, I didn't know what art rock was when I started. I'm like, what is this? I've never heard.
Yeah. I remember taking you to a concert. I don't know if you remember who it was. I'm trying to even remember who it was.
Yes, it was when what's the venue called? It's next to the pageant.
Del Mar Hall.
Yes, it's when that opened, Mike.
Right. We had some VIP passes for that event, and I figured, you know what? You're a promotions guy. You want to know the business. Let's go. And I remember going to that grand opening of Del Mar Hall, and your eyes were just really big. You were looking around, and you couldn't wait to go talk to people. I was like, just hold on, just hold it in, just look at the room, just to see what's going on. And it was like trying to hold back a horse about to run a race, man. You just wanted to let go. Young the Giant was who we went to see, I think.
Young the Giant, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that St. Louis scene is the same here for us that it is for Z107, but I'm sure it's a little bit different in Atlanta, and you're out in it, right? I mean, I think I saw a promotion, the NBA All-Star game was there. And did
Yes,
you
yep.
DJ like an official NBA All-Star party or something?
Yes, yep. I did the gaming room where they usually go against each other in 2K and Madden and stuff like that. It was with Ahmad Green, former running back for the Green Bay Packers. Roscoe Dash was there, Big Crit, and this lady called Big Sue. She's well known in Atlanta. But yeah, that was an experience by itself. Like, bro, that was so much culture shock. I'm like, wow, I never experienced this. Like, actually standing next to Roscoe Dash, like a person that I grew up listening to, it was unbelievable. But yeah, the experience here has been great, bro.